The casually explained guide to going out. Okay. Casually explained guide to
by Incogni. We've all heard the expression, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, which is similar to my dating advice, if you're the hottest person in the room, you should...
Chat, who among you, who thinks they're the smartest chatter in the room? Which chatter thinks they're the smartest chatter? Wow. It's like a 3,000 way tie. That's awesome. You guys are all the smartest person in the...
Should go outside. The problem is nowadays that guys have realized that women don't really like you coming up and talking to them in public unless you're above an 8. So if you want to get rejected by a girl, it's way easier to use an app. Nevertheless, whether you like it or not, sometimes it's necessary to venture into the real world and do an activity, and I thought I could share what to look for and what dangers you might encounter if you face your social anxiety head on with alcohol and then go out for a night. Starting location. The starting location is always someone's apartment where you can pre-drink, or pre-game as the Americans say because they clearly don't take it seriously enough. This is the most important stage of...
Wait, they call it pre-drinking elsewhere? Do we have any Euro fucks in here? You call it pre-drinking? What the fuck does that mean? That's stupid. It's pre-game. We do in Canada. And of course it's pre-game. Because you're drinking. It's not pre-drinking. It's pre-gaming. As in you're getting a little tipsy for the game, for the thing you're going to do.
Going out because it's where you and your friends have a few drinks to loosen up and come up with a game plan for the rest of the night. The game plan is the same this time as it always is, which is getting progressively more drunk and making it up as you go along.
Yeah.
Once you and your friends have come up with concepts of a plan, it's time to set out on your hero's journey into the harsh, debilitating environment, where you must trek forth for several steps until you get to the Uber. If you live in the north, you'll befriend a nice Indian man who will simply ask you to rate 5-star, and if you're anywhere below the 37th parallel, your driver will say, "No inglés," and then quietly play Spanish news radio. Objectives of leaving the starting location.
I don't know about all this, but I do know that when Ari and I were in Florida, we had an Uber driver who was just really funny, and he was Latino. I don't know where from, right? But he was Latino, and he was funny, and he was entertaining. He was talking to us. He was telling us jokes. And then about halfway through the ride, he pivoted to telling us how horrible Cubans are. And it started with a joke. Like, his previous jokes had setups and punchlines, and we were laughing. And then he's like, I got a joke. What's the difference between a stupid fucking idiot and a Cuban? Nothing. That's not the actual joke, but that's basically that's what the fucking joke was. And he looks at us like we're supposed to fucking bust out laughing. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then he just keeps talking. He's like, no, but really though, Cubans are terrible. He just kept going, dude. He just kept going. It was crazy. I was like, why do you think we're in on this fucking anti-Cuban? And this is all this, it was the ride to the fucking Star Wars thing. So this whole way, he just kept pushing his anti-Cuban agenda. And it's like, I don't know where this is coming from, bro. I don't know what he was. I don't know. But he was also Latino. That was crazy. It was wild. Was I laughing? No, we weren't laughing.
Place, and then quietly play Spanish news radio. Objectives of leaving...
We were roaring. Me and Ari had to roll the windows down. We couldn't breathe. It was so funny. That's the way he was roasting Cubans, dude. Oh my God. I was egging him on. I was like, dude, tell me more. They do be like that. No, I probably, listen, the first one, I probably gave a soft chuckle, mostly because the punchline was so shocking. I thought maybe he was doing an ironic thing. I thought maybe he was Cuban. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he was doing but then he kept going. Okay. After the one chuckle, he was off to the races. Okay. I'm a natural chuckler.
In the starting location, be 2 drinks in. Dangers. Everyone is really strict with ID these days, so make sure no one left their identification at home. The first encounter. Option 1, happy hour or anything. A lot of really nice restaurants actually have great happy hours because they're
Okay.
hoping you'll come, have a few happy hour drinks and appetizers, create a nice pre-dinner buzz, and then a few people decide to stay for dinner and a $60 bottle of wine.
How about that?
Unfortunately, this isn't a Las Vegas casino, and your deception is powerless against me. I will have 5 glasses of sparkling wine and 2 dozen oysters for $35, then I'll dip immediately at 5:59 p.m. Even the
Brilliant.
Jerry Springer of finance would be begging me to spend more money. So prepare to tank the losses on your corporate taxes because I've won before, I've won today,
Well,
and I will
plus
be
2.
back to win again.
Plus fucking 2.
Objectives: have some food and more drinks to prepare you for the arduous journey ahead. Dangers: many of these restaurants employ attractive waitresses who try to manipulate you for more money with lustful incantations like, "How was your day?" or "Is everything tasting okay?" Do not fall for their siren song and always be the change you want to see. Remember, tipping is a social construct. First encounter option 2, dive bar. Dive bars are pretty much the cheapest option you have for going out, usually on the edge of town and not
Just whispering that the polite waitress is trying to scam you and then also refusing to tip. That's you fucking harlot. No, I will not be having.
that busy, but you probably won't find your life partner here unless you're looking to donate one of your kidneys to them real soon. Objectives: cheap drinks and guaranteed free seats. Dangers: you get a glimpse into your future for when your life completely falls apart. Also, if you lose a bar fight and are allergic to peanuts, you will die. The second location.
That's
The
kinda
second
fun.
location is the last moment you can still turn back and abandon the plan, which is seeing if it's going to be an actual night out or if someone says something cowardly like, "I have work tomorrow," or "I have a wife and kids and need to spend time with them." This is why the second location has to be where you spend the most on drinks and potentially meet random strangers that will join your party and reinvigorate lost morale into the group. Craft brew pub. Now, as someone who's been drinking IPAs for 10 years, you might say, "Jamie, I just tried my first IPA and it was terrible. How long until they start tasting good?" In my experience, at least 11 years. Type of party member you might recruit: 30-year-old mustachioed indoor rock climber. He likes music festivals and planning summer road trips in his Kia Sedona, a chill
yeah.
addition to
I
your
know
party,
this guy.
but no special party buff. Chance of success: high. Option 2, cocktail bar. Cocktail bars aren't the best for group outings because they have limited seatings and are usually really busy, but they are a classic date idea for a reason, which is that most girls don't actually know what food is, and so typically live off of iced matcha lattes and small processed bags of carbohydrates
Girl
they have
dinner.
stashed in strategic locations to forget about and then rediscover throughout the day. Cocktails and bar snacks are basically just an upscale version of this, tricking them into thinking you are capable of providing a better version of their current lifestyle. You unfortunately cannot, as you're paying for the check by letting your car loan go to collection. Type of party member you might recruit: wife. Chance of success: low. Option 3, natural wine bar. This is what the modern hipster has adopted after moving on from craft beer. We can't afford houses or children, but we can afford houseplants, tattoos, and overpriced dining experiences.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you've ever had the luxury of visiting Europe, you know you can go to any supermarket and buy drinkable wine for €3, or go full top shelf of the supermarket for $5. If you go to Korea or Japan, you can buy a bottle of soju or sake for
Oh, yeah.
$1.50.
Oh,
But in North
yeah.
America, you can go to a natural wine bar and spend $90 on fortified kombucha that has a living organism growing inside of it. You might think this is a scam until you see the bottle has a quirky label on it you can post on Instagram
How
for
about
clout, and then
that?
you also realize the bar is filled with hot millennials. Type of party member you might recruit: someone else's wife. Chance of success: medium. The last stop. Deep in your psyche, this is where you knew you were going
McDonald's.
all along, back when you said, "Yeah, we'll see how it
Fast
goes, I guess."
food.
This is the most dangerous
Tacos,
part of your
street
journey,
tacos.
and each location option has a drunk boss fight you and your friends have to overcome. In order to conquer the last stop, you and your party has to strategically time your arrival with when your blood alcohol level is reaching a crescendo, as all of these locations require you to be as stupid as possible while still being conscious in order to take on the boss fight.
Yeah.
House party. A house party is the prime location for bad late night decision making because there'll be lots of drunk people you don't know, one extremely stressed sober person trying to manage the $20,000 in damage being done to their parents' property, and a bunch of frat guys who are probably going to be in the news tomorrow. Boss fight. Not ending up in an ambulance. Option 2, nightclub. While most people find that it's easier to dance the later the night goes on because you're more and more drunk, it also gets a lot harder because the floor gets more and more sticky. It's better to not ask questions on the subject. Boss fight. The 6 double cheeseburgers, 20 nuggets, and Oreo McFlurry you're
Oh,
about
yeah,
to order
the
at McDonald's.
dream.
Option 3,
The
gay bar.
dream.
As someone who lives on the West Coast, here we just call them bars, but have you ever been to a gay bar and accidentally made eye contact with someone who was clearly staring directly at you? You're immediately part of the culture, because no matter how quickly you look away, he will be trying to shake your hand in 10 seconds. Instead of saying, "Oh, hey man, I'm not gay, I'm just here for a friend's party," in the most masculine straight guy way possible, your brain, having never been in this situation before, will try to be polite and say, Oh no, I already have a drink, but thank you. When he then brings you another drink anyway, and you say, "Oh my god, I really can't. No, really give it to someone else." I mean, okay, if we just have it really fast, but then I have to go back to my friend. This goes about as well as you'd expect because every server at a gay bar learned to make drinks watching Janae from Mahalo.com. Boss fight?
I don't know the reference.
Making sure 50 Cent doesn't get the footage. The final boss. The return home. The final challenge once you have survived another boss fight is to use all of your remaining brain cell to find your bed. The problem is that you're likely extremely dehydrated, can't see anything, and all of your friends have seemingly perished. This is where you need to invoke the one superpower all main characters possess. Plot armor.
Don't throw
like
up in
in
the
Lord of
Uber.
the Rings, just take one more shot, black out completely,
Don't
and you will
throw
then
up in
immediately
the
teleport
Uber.
to some sort of bed. Usually this will be your own bed the next day, might be the hospital, could be your ex's, sometimes jail, but I can assure you it works every time. Except in Japan. Don't do it there. At the end of the day, going out was a sacrifice, and you might say that while we managed to lose our money, dignity, wedding rings, and then there was whatever happened at Diddy's, the lesson learned was that just like life, going out wasn't about the journey, it was about how hot the people we met were, and if we'll ever see them again. Now, if you never want to see anyone again who might have acquired your phone number, you might want to try our longtime sponsor, Incogni. With their new
Incogni! Check them out. Ah, funny video.